Well, tough one tonight. I think anybody that saw that knew, could see that we certainly didn't play our best. You got to give Georgia a ton of credit. They did a tremendous job of getting their team ready to play. Those guys came out and played exceptionally well. They've got a very good football team. Really talented, and the thing that I was impressed about Georgia coming into the game is they played hard all the time and they played well and really had a lot of pride in their performance and the way they played, and you can see it today. They did an excellent job. I thought the quarterback really played an outstanding game. Tight end obviously played an outstanding game as well, and we just look. We've got a good football team, and it was a tough one tonight. We'll evaluate what happened. Couldn't be more proud of our football team, though, and especially these two young men that are up here with me right now, just for what they've meant to TCU football and just what kind of people they are. And I think we're all disappointed, and we didn't play better, we didn't coach better, and we didn't represent our team better than we did tonight. But we'll learn from it, and next time we're on the stage like this, we'll handle it better.
Thank you, Coach. Again, let's get questions for our two student athletes first, and then we'll go to Coach. So questions for our student athletes, we'll start right down here in the very front, in the middle. Let me get you the mic.
This question is for Max and D-Winners Jamie Plunkett with Brock today. Guys, I know that this isn't the result you wanted today, but when you look back on this season after being the Big 7th in the Big 12 and everybody kind of overlooked you guys, how do you put into words finishing 13-2 Fiesta Bowl championship?
Yeah, I think Coach Dyke said it. Tonight did not go the way we wanted to. Disappointed in that aspect, but tonight isn't gonna take away from this season and what we're able to do as a program. I don't think that's gonna define all the good memories and all the success that we had this season to project and put this program going in the right direction and moving forward. I think that was the biggest thing of this program's moving in the right way, in the right direction. There were so many great memories this year, and obviously we're disappointed tonight, but we're not going to let this kind of take away from a remarkable season.
Yeah, I think you pretty much just hit the nail on the head. This is something we definitely weren't looking forward to, but looking back, it was a long journey, and I think all the guys kind of appreciate Coach Kaz and Coach Dykes coming in and just showing us the ropes of how to be a winner, and we're excited to have them for the next couple years.
And I'll say this to add to that too. I think as Max said, look, a loss like this stings, but we talked about this a little bit in the locker room a second ago, just about how far we've come in a year, what these guys have been able to accomplish, really with nobody outside of our locker room expected it or really believed in them. And they always believed in themselves. They always rolled their sleeves up and worked incredibly hard and competed every single second of every day, and you couldn't ask for more than that. Again, I'm disappointed that we didn't make a better showing tonight, because that's not indicative of who we are. But we'll look back. It's going to take some time for the steam to go away, I'm sure. We'll look back on the season and build on it from there.
Any other questions for our student athletes right down here in the front?
Question for D and Max both. Mac Engel from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram guys. Were they that much better than you? That outcome we were not expecting at all. Were they that much better than you?
Yeah, defensive wise, they didn't really do anything special. We kind of just beat ourselves up. They kind of just executed on our misalignments and just kept scoring on those things like that. We just kept beating ourselves up. Just overthinking, trying to run too fast with the ball and things of that nature.
Yeah, they're a great team. Everybody knows how good they've been, this year and in prior years, and we do that. I think tonight was one of those nights where, at least offensively, we couldn't get anything wrong. They were playing well on defense. We were shooting ourselves in the foot. I was making bad decisions, and I wasn't executing well, not putting us in a position to, score some points and, move the ball. But You know, they're a great team. Obviously, that's not what we thought was going to happen, or wanted to happen, or what we worked for. But yeah, it was just one of those nights where we couldn't really do much on our end.
Take our next question for the student athletes over here on our right, fourth row back.
Max and Lee, both of you guys. I know it's hard right now in this moment to kind of grasp it all, but when you look back at this team, what are you going to remember about the character and resiliency that you guys displayed just on season long?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about being part of a football team, and especially this one. I mean, long past this time, we're probably not going to remember the wins and losses or stuff like that, but we're going to remember the men in that locker room, the guys that we got to grow up with, that we learn more about. When stuff got tough and things kind of got hard, you saw what type of men that we got in our locker room that continue to fight, believe. It's such a fun group to go to work with. It's the little stuff that you got to remember about this season. Probably less about the wins and losses, but what great men we got.
Okay, we've got our next question on the second row, right here in the middle.
Joe Brady, Associated Press. Max, how much was Georgia's pressure? Was that the most pressure that you've kind of seen all year in terms of how consistent and quick they were?
Yeah, I mean, they were good up front. I don't know. I don't really know compared to stuff coming up in this year or this season. They had some some blitzes, some pressures they got through. I held on to the ball a little bit too long. Wasn't getting through reads. Was kind of causing trouble for the O-line myself. A lot was on kind of on me, but they had some good schemes, and I think again going back to the stuff that we were doing that we weren't executing well and they were playing well on their end, and that isn't a great recipe for success.
Take our last question for the student athletes back here from Ivan, our right side.
For both players, you guys, this hasn't happened to you, but how can you describe the feeling, frustration early in the game when you figured out what you're so good at wasn't there tonight?
It was just something that we really haven't faced, like you said, but Coach Codd did a great job just trying to tell us, the next play, always have that next play mentality, just to come out and just compete and, go from there.
Yeah, I think when stuff like that happens, you gotta go back to your roots, go back to your values, the culture that we set. It was frustrating. You haven't been in a situation like that, but you gotta dig yourself out of a hole. You gotta believe. And I know going forward, this program, is gonna get on the stage again. If we're ever in a situation like that, I know we're gonna be able to get out of it, have some success, and I'm pretty positive in that.
Max D, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the great